I've been real busy lately, so I haven't had a chance to make any videos. I did do a few update videos about a Glock and some other stuff, but then I decided I wanted to just give it a few more weeks. I've been on a real big pocket knife craze lately, and so that's what I want to do my review on. Two knives in one review. Both are Chinese copies. The first being a Chinese copy Microtech SOCOM Delta. This is that custom. I believe it's an Anthony Marfione, or however you pronounce it, custom. When I got this, well, hold on. First, let's roll in the second one. It's the Whale Shark custom. Also a Anthony Marfione, or however you pronounce it, custom. But let's go first to the SOCOM Delta. Both blades, when they came in, the carbon fiber scale was very dull. I'm going to call it raw. It was just raw. And it had, you can kind of see, there's still a few left. You can kind of see on this ridge here on the inside, you can kind of see down here where they've got a rough, if you can look in a rough sand, like a file, you can see right here. They have like a file look to them. Well, I did hit them with 800 grit wet dry, and I wet dry sanded the carbon fiber scales, both sides. I took this completely apart. I bought the tools. I took this tool and I cut it in half and made two, because I believe it's the Delta that the pivot pin screws, they both wanted to spin. So I put one end of the tool I cut off, you can see it's kind of in an angle. I put the one half in a vise, set the knife on that, and I used the other half to turn it. This tool, it cracked and broke, so I had to grind it down to level it out, and I re-tapered it because it's all the way through. It's that triangle goes all the way through, but I've got it working where I want it now. It works real nice. However, back to the review. So I sanded the scales on both knives, and then I hit them with some lacquer. I got rattle can lacquer, just like a Krylon lacquer, and I sprayed them, and then that's why it looks way better. I like that glossy, shiny look. But anyway, other than that, while I had them apart, I put a little grease on the roller. I'm going to call it the roller bearings. Put a little grease on each one of them, both sides. And I also had to fix this pocket clip. I had to give it more of an arch, because if you look, two of the screws are underneath the pocket clip, and they would catch on my pants, and it wouldn't let me get a full, it wouldn't let my pocket, the edge of my pocket, go all the way down as far as it could. It would catch right in here, and so this knife kind of rode high. So a little bend in that, and we're good to go. I didn't take the screws out of these, but all these screws, when I put it back together, I put a little I put a little put a little of this super lube on and in all the threads, just so we didn't have any seizing. But the last thing I did was I took this Mother's Mag and aluminum polish on both blades, on this flat here, on the spine all the way down. You'll see I got fingerprints there, and on the inside of the grind. And I bet you I worked on it for a few hours each blade. Well, I guess I want to say maybe an hour and a half total time, but man, does that thing shine. Really, really nice. And I'll just give you a kind of a few. You can see I smudged it there with my finger. But man, this thing is fantastic. I mean, I know you might scoff at me for buying a Chinese copy, but you know what? It is what it is. I just don't have $1,900. If I did, I still don't think I'd spend that. Well, maybe I would. I don't know. But this thing is nice. And it just flicks open. It just rides so smooth. And it is just fantastic. I love it. I don't know if this is truly titanium. I don't know if this pocket clip truly is titanium like the Chinese say. I've got no idea. I do have a way I could find out. We have a tool at work. We could test it. I don't know if this blade is tool steel. For all I know, it could be 713 MOV. Could be 440 or 440 C or whatever. I don't know. But I know one thing. It is blistering sharp. I mean, absolutely. If I can do this on camera, just all the way to the tip. Absolutely blistering sharp. However, let's set that aside. And now we got the whale shark. Same thing. Sanded the carbon fiber, glossed the carbon fiber. That's all I've had to do to it. I did, while I had it apart, I greased I'm going to call it the bearing, the washer, the needle washer, whatever you want to call it. And I did put grease in the threads to keep this thing from possibly seizing up. This triangle here, however, takes a different tool, because if you look, there is a little bit of, but it still worked enough. If you do buy one of these and you buy the tool, you got to be specific that you want the whale shark tool. Otherwise, you'll get the Delta tool. But anyway, outside of greasing this thing, if I can get this to flick, I don't know. There we go. It does flick open good, but I'm not good with that. But anyway, same thing. I polished all the flats and I polished the grind, and I polished the spine. And this truly is also fantastic. I really enjoy this. I probably should kind of clean these off. Now that it's all polished, I just really bothers me to have any prints on there. But anyway, It is just mirror, well, almost mirror. And I really like this. It's just, if I can maybe hold it, get this out of the way, hold it like this, let you have a look at. It's really nice. It's really ergonomic. I mean, it just fits the hand. The lockup is just solid, rock solid on both knives. Never had to do any work to the pocket clip. The pocket clip lets this thing ride good and low. This is very, it's a very, I guess you could say fun knife to carry. It has a very wild look to it. I'm making that worse, but it has just a very wild, different look to it. And again, we'll take this card from a raffle I went to. Just blistering sharp. I mean, this thing will cut all day, every day. Whoops. However, of the two, I'll set this one like this, and I'll bring this one over like this. Of the two, I really think that my favorite would probably be the Delta. And I don't know, I mean, there's just some, I always want to hold this thing like this with my finger right up above the flipper, but I don't know, it just seems like that's just not a right thing to do, because that edge is just in front of my finger, you know, where the edge starts. I don't mind holding it back here, I really don't, but it just feels better when I can choke up on it, you know. But as far as cutting goes, I mean, they both cut. They both they seem to do all right. They're extremely light. You could not imagine how light they are, and that is just where the main body starts to the tip, that edge. It's just fantastic. I just love this. I just really do. This just seems so nice, you know. Just flicks out real nice. That grease really helped it, and it's just great. I don't know. Are they worth the money from the Chinese place? Yeah, I think they are. I think I paid $78 for this and like $87 for this. And I really do. I mean, if you're kind of handy and you don't mind, you know, dealing with the carbon fiber, you know, if you don't mind maybe glossing it. If you like dull carbon fiber, then yeah, that's okay, I guess. I didn't. I like the whale shark. I guess the thing about it that kills me is it just seems too dressy. You know, like I'd always be afraid to use it. And I'm kind of, I guess, afraid to use this too, but you know, if it doesn't matter to you, I mean, they're $80. If you mess one up, you could always buy another one. If I got a second one, you can kind of see right here in the carbon fiber that rough look. But you can't feel it. But you can see it. If I had two of them, yeah, I'd use one and I'd see how it turns out, and I'd doll up the other one, but you know, maybe if I'm just going here and there, I'd carry it, but to work, I'm afraid to scratch the clips up and all that, but that's the review on them. You know, I really think that you would enjoy one. You know, they're not bad for the money. They're nice and light. It doesn't matter which one I carry. It's just really hard to feel them in the pocket. They are just that light. You just really can't. You know, they don't really have any weight to them compared to, like, let's say this Chinese karambit. It's a copy of the Fox, and it just, even though it's not a heavy knife by any means, and I've been carrying it just about every day. You can see where I've banged this clip and rubbed it up on stuff. But I always know that this is in my pocket. I always know that. It's just got that feeling to it, you know. And here's a Chinese Strider. I know when I'm carrying this. It's just heavy. Now here is a Kershaw, an actual, no Chinese copy. Kershaw. I did put some serrations in it. And even though this is kind of small and light, I do notice it. I always notice it in my pocket. Now you do get, let me slide these out of the way. You do get boxes. They do say Microtech. Microtech Advanced Technologies. I don't live very far from Microtech. I could drive up there just any time. There it is. Anthony Marfione. But you do get boxes. I don't know to which box this belongs, but it has inspected by sticker. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if they really do inspect them. Here's a lifetime warranty card, but there is no such thing as a lifetime warranty. Because obviously these are customs. Or I mean, these are Chinese, I'm sorry. The one knife, however, and I don't know if they forgot to put this in the other box, but I believe this is the whale shark box. It came with a lanyard, which was a very nice touch. I don't think that this 550 paracord can fit inside that lanyard loop. It looks like the lanyard loop is a little too small, but this is really nice. I've thought about trying it out. I mean, you know, worst case scenario, you don't like it, you take it back off. But it was a really nice little little touch. And the seller shipped these really fast. I had them, excuse me, I think I ordered them on a Monday, and I got them 2 weeks later. That's blistering speed for the Chinese. The seller did say he would send me another lanyard, because maybe they did forget to put it in the box with the Delta. And he also said he would send me a spare set of screws. Because that screw is so proprietary, I asked him if he could spare a few of the screws, just so, you know, if I ever strip one by accident with that tool, I would have a few to replace them. But I'm honestly, I'm pretty thrilled. I'm very excited with the knives. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they are Chinese, but they seem to have got just about everything right. Like I said, except this pocket clip. Chinese pocket clips are notorious for being too tight, you know. But outside of putting that little arc, taking this off and putting just a little bit more of an arch in this, they were flawless. I only did the polishing just to shine them up a little bit. I did get, and I don't have it ready right now, I did get a copy of the CQC7 Chinese. Here's just the blade. The thing about this is it's 26 bucks. So what I did was I stone washed it. I painted the disc black. It was stainless. It does have an edge on both sides like normal knives. But, you know, 26 bucks and you get to play with it. Here are some gray. They're supposed to be gray. They look white. Some gray scales I did. They turned out fairly good. But, just for something to play with, you know. Keep my hands going. Because I got fidgety hands, you know. I always have to mess with something. But that'll be another review on that. Anyway, the last thing is both knives ship, believe this or not, in a Chris Reeves leather pouch. if that ain't enough to, you know, really take the cake. But they came in these pouches that say Chris Reeves on them. Chris Reeves pouch, Microtech copy, and a Microtech copy box. So I figure I'll splice one and use it as a strop. We'll see. But anyway, there you go. You got any questions? You got any comments? You want to call me a dickhead for buying Chinese knives? Knife copies? Knock yourself out. I'll talk to you in the next video.